Hi and welcome to Edible Earth. So on this channel we're documenting our attempts to try and produce some of our own food to ease the shocking cost of living crisis that's on at the moment. So in this video it's a general roundup, going to go through obviously where we are now, also what I've learnt so far and what we are definitely going to change for next year. Right, so we always start first in the greenhouse. So this is our Aldi or Lidl grapevine. It's doing really well. I thought it died over winter, but it's doing phenomenally well with regard to growing. It's not produced anything. I'm not sure how many years it takes for a grapevine to start producing fruits. Definitely a big mistake putting this cucumber plant next to the grapevine because it's being overtaken. So these cucumber plants, let's see if we can find the sign. So these were bought from B&M Bargains in the UK. Costco actually sell these as well, and weirdly they sell it cheaper than B&M Bargains. But these have been a huge success. So these snack cucumbers, we actually threw 8 away yesterday that had gone past their sell-by date on the cucumber plant. It's just prolific. The amount of cucumbers that we get from these plants is ridiculous. So the one thing we've learned for next year is we're going to have the same make of plants or from the same people, but we're only going to have one cucumber plant in the greenhouse. Suffering from, I think it's nitrogen deficiency, so I've started feeding them. Hopefully that will improve, but again, the amount of cucumbers off these plants are ridiculous. And because they're this size as well, of course snack cucumbers, but because they're this size, they're ideal because we use one and there's no putting half of it in the fridge and it going soggy at the end. With regard to the coriander, that's not doing too well because we've overused it. So for next year, again, our plan is to have more coriander plants because we use that quite a lot. These are the peppers that we got. I think this is from B&Q or somewhere like that. It started to produce fruit, but way too late. We could have done with this producing fruit a lot earlier. So maybe it's our fault for not, or my fault for not buying them earlier. The tomato plants from B&Q are an absolute disaster. I have never had so few tomatoes off tomato plants ever. I've been growing tomato plants for years, normally from seed, but we started really late this year. I mean, we've got a few there, but very few and far between. It does need cutting back, this plant though. This is probably the most successful plant, and that would be considered quite poor in the past. So yeah, tomatoes, can't really judge on the tomatoes because of how poor they are, but for next year you're definitely growing them from seed. This is the only plant we managed to grow from seed. Obviously started way too late with that, but this is a standard cucumber plant. Hasn't produced anything yet, but it will do for the end of the season. The biggest disaster is this tomato plant. Huge, but not one single tomato on that plant. So that's actually coming out today. The basil, great success. This is from a supermarket purchase plant, you know, the ones you get where they last about 7 days. You put them on your windowsill. We always cut them back and repot them. A lot cheaper than obviously buying from a garden centre. And we use this all the time. So we're fixed, I think, for next year with regard to basil. Another one of these cucumber plants. Must be about 10 cucumbers on there. This is another success from the same company as the cucumber plants. So snack red peppers. We've had quite a few off this and it just keeps producing more and more. This is definitely the way forward for us with a very small greenhouse, very small garden. These snack style plants are fantastic. This is another plant which we bought from B&Q. It's okay, it's started to produce, but again way too late in the season. And this is our collection of, they're not cactus, I'm not actually sure what they are. Flowering, doing well in this greenhouse environment. So outside, it became evident quite early on that pots are not the way to go if you want to start producing your own food. With regard to herbs, great. So I've had a lot of mint off these plants, and we just keep separating them to get more. The lavender, I've grown that for years. So this is our chive. We haven't used that as much as we should have done, I think, but that's doing well. More lavender. Hopefully this blueberry bush, which is now a bush, it was a stick before, hopefully we'll get some blueberries off that for next year. I think I'm going to repot it into a bigger pot though. With regard to our strawberry plants, we've had about, well, the birds or the insects have had about 10 strawberries, we've had about 3, I think. So not great for this year. Going to, really what I'm concentrating on with the strawberries this year is to get more plants off these, so off the feeders or the suckers or whatever you call them. Every time we see like a root system like that one, putting a pot in, getting them to pot on and plant. So hopefully we'll have quite a few strawberries. Got to do more research on strawberries because we need them to be producing a lot more fruit than this. Carrots, bit of a disaster, tell you the truth. Not to be grown in small pots, even these stubby ones. So let's have a look at one of the bigger ones, and that's basically all you get. So not sure we're going to be growing carrots next year. Have to have another think about that. With regard to the potatoes, they've gone wild. Again, too early to pick, so not sure how they are under the ground. This used to have carrots in, put some late beetroot in, don't know if they're going to, they've started to sprout, but I don't know if it's too late in the season for those. And our Monge 2, which was going absolutely fantastic, has stopped producing altogether. So that this, I'll have to do some more research on peas because I think the season might be quite short for those. So we're not getting anything off those now, so we're now having to buy from the supermarket, which isn't great. So I'll have to have another rethink about that. Plus they take up a lot of space as well. Okay, so that's a recap for this week. For next year, as I said, we're going to be changing things around. I'm going to be using less pots, plant pots, looking for some free pallets at the moment so I can build some planters. Once we've got the planters in place, I think for next year it's going to be a lot better. Please subscribe to the channel, and as usual, if you've enjoyed this particular video, hit the like button. Thank you very much for watching.